While the road was good to the Houston Astros, there is no place like home, and the Astros are very excited to be back at Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston for the first of a 10-game homestand. Starts with 3 against the second place Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Astros come in leading by a game and a half in the AL West as we welcome you inside to a roof-open Minute Maid Park. It's a beautiful night. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. And Blummer, even though things went well on the road trip, it is good to be back.
It is very good to be back, and it's good to be out of all the jackets, bundled up. The offense is getting loose. Great to be here.
When we talk about our Texas Auto Diamond Kings, we're going to feature the top 3 guys at the top of the lineup.
These guys have been very good, and A.J. Hinch has them already inked out and penned, probably for the next 160 games if he wanted to. But I know that he has to get those guys some days off to keep those legs fresh. But they got going out there on the road, which was beautiful to see. Finally acclimated to that cold weather. And they figured out how to get the barrel to the baseball. They did a great job. There was even one game in the first 2 innings, they scored 8 runs between the top 4 guys. So these guys are starting to light it up. And if the Astros offense is going to get going, they need these guys to go. 19 runs they scored on this trip. They also drove in 21 RBIs. These are the guys who drive the bus. When they are going, the guys behind them are going to go good too. It was also good to see those 6 through 9 guys getting on base for them.
Astros scoring at least 7 runs in 5 consecutive games, and those 3 were a large part of the reason. On that road trip, Astros trailed the Angels at one point by 3.5 games, and now they start tonight a game and a half in front. Angels got off to a hot start. One of the reasons because of Mike Trout.
Oh, Mike Trout is a beast. We know that going in. We're going to have plenty of numbers to light up the board when we talk about him. But he's a guy getting back in the mix with the home runs. Maybe a little jealous about Tuve picking up that MVP last year. He's getting off to an electric start. Over 309 home runs of the major league lead. The interesting part for me is the RBIs, 17 RBIs. There's a couple guys in front of him that they'd probably like to see on base a little more often for when he gets hot driving the ball out of the ballpark.
Couple of additions this year. We know all about Shohei Ohtani, and we'll talk more about him. He pitches tomorrow. But Ian Kinsler and Zach Cozart really solidifying this infield.
No, you're exactly right. They solidify the infield, makes their defense a little bit better. Cozart's going to be moving between third base, shortstop, and maybe playing a little bit of the outfield. Kinsler's going to be playing that second base where he's won a couple of gold gloves. But what these guys do also is create a little more depth in that Angels lineup, hopefully to give a little more support to Pujols, Trout, and Justin Upton.
We'll have baseball right around the corner. The top 2 teams in the AL West. It'll be Gerrit Cole on the mound for the Houston Astros against Tyler Skaggs for the Angels. More coming right around the corner. AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Butter Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. And by Buick. Visit your local Buick dealer. Coming up, Julian Morales will take us through the rotation the last 2 turns and see if Gerrit Cole can continue the trend of outstanding pitching.
Astros, and Gerrit Cole's going to kick it off facing the Angels tonight. He gets the ball for his 5th start of the season. 3 of the first 4 facing AL West teams, and he handled them pretty easily. He's hoping to continue what he's done all year, really what all the starting rotation has done all season. They're having a lot of fun watching each other go out there every night and dominate. This is the last 10 for this starting rotation. Pretty impressive stuff with 68 innings, only 39 hits allowed. The strikeout to walk ratio is out of this world right now. Of course, the ERA low, and they're not allowing teams to hit very well. Their average is only 165 as well. And Gerrit Cole, like I mentioned, he's looking forward to getting back out there battling in that last start. However, putting up another good number. He's 2-0 this year. That sub-1 ERA coming in. He's just pitching like an ace. The guy that they got this offseason is going out and doing exactly what they wanted and then some. And so he's going to start a 3rd turn for the Astros rotation tonight, hoping to keep things going the way that they have been for that starting staff. And he's facing this Angels team, a team he hasn't seen a whole lot in his career. However, there are a couple of guys, especially the new guys that have come in, that he has seen before with his time in Pittsburgh. Ian Kinsler, the leadoff guy, he's only 2 for 17 off Cole. And then Zach Cozart, of course, was with the Reds for a while, only 1 for 14. So he's handled them pretty well also. All right, TK and Blummer, I'm going to send it up to you in the booth for more on tonight's starter.
Yeah, well, he started this stretch, and it just carried forward 2 turns all the way through. He might as well start a 3rd turn. He has been phenomenal.
He's the 4th starter. Again, if you're the Angels and you're reading the scouting report and you say, we got 4-5, and then the ace Justin Verlander, we got a shot. But that's a little bit different when you see a guy with these numbers step onto the hill. Pitches per inning at 14, and the reason I had them point that out is because in those 4 starts, he has got 41 punch-outs. Usually a high strikeout guy throws a lot of pitches per inning, but not Gerrit Cole. He is aggressive in the zone. He likes to throw strikes, and he likes to swing and miss.
7 innings in all 4 of his starts as an Astro. As you look at the Angels lineup today as against Gerrit Cole. Again, as Julia said, not a ton of at-bats for these Angels against Cole. At the very top is Ian Kinsler, then Mike Trout in center field, Justin Upton the DH, Albert Pujols at first, former Astro Luis Valbuena at third base, Zach Cozart at shortstop, Andrelton Simmons hit by a pitch last night. He's out of the game today. Cole Calhoun in right field. Chris Young, the Houston product, is in left. And Martin Maldonado is behind the plate. Simply perfect conditions to kick off this 11-day, 10-game homestand. Angels in town for the first 3 of the 10. And we are underway with Gerrit Cole just missing on the fastball down low. Stu Sherwater is the home plate umpire, calling balls and strikes. Kinsler pops one out of play. It's 1-1.
Should be 0-2. I know it's early, but I'm a little tough right now because I know that Gerrit Cole throws a ton of strikes.
Well, that's you like to set the tone early, and if you're a pitcher who has gone through the first 4 starts like Cole, you want those close pitches to go in your favor. That first one that was called a ball was pretty close. That's a strike. It's 1-2.
Be interesting with the adjustment hitters make, because on our MD Anderson strike zone, you can see 2 pitches in the zone, 3 pitches now. Sometimes I believe that younger umpires have a tendency to call that higher strike.
Cole misses there. It's 2-2. Gerrit Cole, 4 starts as an Astro, has gone 7 innings in all 4, allowed no more than 5 hits in any of his 4 starts, and no more than 2 runs. He's only allowed 3 earned runs in 4 starts, and they have all come on solo home runs. 76 degrees. Clear skies, just a light breeze out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour. We could see the roof open for all 3 games of this Angels series at Minute Maid Park. A little late swing there to stay alive from Kinsler.
Yeah, the Angels might have brought the weather with them. It's a beautiful SoCal afternoon here in Houston. It is so good to be back and actually unpack and put my suitcase away.
And put winter clothes away for a long time.
I need to go back in the box.
Lofted in the air to left field. Marwin Gonzalez is there. Didn't have to move very far. And he makes the play for out number 1. Starting defense is presented by Xfinity. You already saw Marwin in left. He's got Jake Marisnick in center field and George Springer in right tonight. Left side is the normal combination of Alex Bregman and Carlos Correa. Right side, although he's in the shift now, Jose Altuve and Yuli Gurriel. And Brian McCann is the catcher for Gerrit Cole tonight. Cole facing Mike Trout. Gerrit has not pitched much in his career against the AL West, only twice in his career against the Angels, once back in 2013 in Anaheim, and then in 2016 in Pittsburgh. Trout off to a great start this year. 306, leading baseball with 9 home runs, and also in the top 5 in runs scored and top 6 in RBIs. Cole doing a little work around the mound where his landing foot has been hitting. Astros coming off a 6-1 road trip. At the same time, the Angels were home, and they did not fare well in their homestand. They went 1-5 on the homestand. Swept by the Boston Red Sox and lost 2 out of 3 to the San Francisco Giants. Trout stays alive on a foul ball down the right field side.
Not trying to be quiet. I'm just watching the AB. This is going to be a good matchup throughout the course of the night. Mike Trout, MVP contender pretty much every year he's been in the big leagues. And Gerrit Cole, the way he's been feeling his last 4 starts, this is what you want to see. Power fastball, power off speed. Little cat and mouse game. We saw a fastball up in the zone. That's where Mike Trout's been susceptible to the swing and miss.
Swing and miss, 98. Sizzling miles an hour.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Got that right. In, out, up, down. Then just go ahead and challenge him. Mattress Firm Supermo shows that four-seam fastball for Gerrit Cole, jumping out of the hand, and you can still have a pretty high spin rate when you're throwing that four-seamer as hard as Gerrit Cole is.
Lowest opponent's batting average in the major league so far this season at 129 against the fastball. And he starts Upton off with a strike. Justin Upton coming in batting .235, but he's battling an 0 for 19 right now.
He has always been a slow starter.
Three on the left side of the infield against Upton as he's down to the count 0-2. Altuve shifting to the third base side of second base. Swing and a miss. Gerrit Cole with those 2 strikeouts in the first inning, taking over the American League lead once again. He now has 43 on the season and a 1-2-3 start to his night. Against the Angels on this Monday night. George Springer leads things off in right field, followed by Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. What a road trip those three had. Yuli Gurriel bats cleanup. Alex Bregman in the 5 spot. Marwin Gonzalez plays left field and bats 6. Evan Gattis hit his first home run of the season in yesterday's game. He DHs. Brian McCann behind the plate, and Jake Marisnick in center field.
Tyler Skaggs, left-hander, going for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim on the season. He is 2-1 in 4 starts. That whip over 1 at 1.38. The pitches per inning, that is a lot of work. 20 pitches per inning. The Astros like to make the starting pitchers work, get them out of the ball game, and if he stays at that pace, he's going to be out of here pretty quick. He was out early against Boston, going only 4 1/3, giving up 6 earned runs. Gave up 1 home run. It was a grand slam to Rafael Devers.
And George Springer takes a pitch outside to start this one for the Astros in the bottom half of the first. Springer had 8 runs batted in on that road trip, batted .321. A home run in the mix. He has not had any success against Tyler Skaggs in his career. He's 0 for 13, but he's ahead here 2-0.
Fastball 90 to 92 from Skaggs. Secondary pitch will be that curveball, the occasional changeup.
He's thrown the curveball a lot more this year than he ever has. In fact, against lefties, he only throws 2 pitches, a 4-seamer and a curveball. will not face a lefty
for a while.
Brian McCann in the number 8 spot. Catches the corner. It's 2-2. Skaggs has pitched better this year away from Anaheim. A couple of starts he's done well on the road in Oakland and in Texas. 11 1/3 innings, 1 run. Springer on the ground. Shortstop Cozart is there. Makes the play for out number 1. Cozart playing shortstop tonight for the Angels. Normally that would be Andrelton Simmons, but he was hit by a pitch in yesterday's game as a right forearm contusion. Should see him as early as tomorrow. He's getting an extra night to let it calm down. Here's Jose Altuve. Altuve comes into this game batting .344, 5th in the American League, and 2nd on his team behind Carlos Correa. Altuve loves to dig into home plate in his first AB. Grounds one towards third. Valbuena, his former teammate, makes the play. Throws across for out number 2.
Power player of the game is presented to you by TXU Energy. Carlos Correa on that road trip absolutely tore it up. .541 batting average, 1 double, 2 home runs. Amazingly enough, got beat out by Manny Machado for player of the week, but it easily could have gone Correa's way. Playing an excellent shortstop. They need these guys to get going. That's why they're on this streak right now, is because those big 3 are doing so well.
Yeah, Correa's numbers were pretty close to Manny's. Didn't have the home run total that Manny did. Had co-AL players of the week, Manny Machado and Sean Manaea, who threw the no-hitter against the Red Sox.
It was the only way he was going to get player of the week from one of the Astro pitchers, is by throwing a no-no, and that was a great job by Sean Manaea.
Correa with a 1-0 count. It's outside 2-0. Carlos during the week had an OPS of .1439. 7-game hitting streak. There is a base hit past Albert Pujols down the right field side. Calhoun makes the play barehanded off the wall. Correa head first slide, and he is in with a 2-out double. Correa continues to get on base as he reached base in 4 of his 5 plate appearances yesterday.
Correa starting things off, going the other way, off the end of the bat, but a tough pitch from Skaggs. Kind of a running fastball off the plate, but we've seen Carlos not afraid to go the other way here early in the season. You've got an MVP award out in center field. You've got an MVP award for the Astros at second base. There's a potential 3rd MVP right here.
We mentioned it early in the season when he got off to a hot start. He normally doesn't get off, or at least last year did not get off to a hot start. And he still ended up having numbers that were MVP-like by the All-Star break. This year, he is off to a torrid start and is showing a lot of signs of having a huge season. Yuli Gurriel bats down in the count 0-1.
I also like the challenge that Carlos Correa gave to Cole Calhoun out there in right. He's kind of having a rough year out there in right field, but with 2 outs, why not force the issue? Because if you make it, now you're in scoring position for Yuli Gurriel. It was a great try, and he made it.
Two and 1 the count. Since that 2 home run game, if you take the final 4 at bats of that game plus what he's done since, Correa in his last 15 plate appearances, 8 for 11, 3 walks and a sac fly.
Production.
That's impressive. See if Gurriel can bring him home with 2 outs. Yuli riding a 4-game hitting streak, hitting .333 during that stretch. Three and 1 the count.
Seen a couple of changeups in this AB. That was a changeup. First pitch of the AB against Yuli was a changeup, but he did a good job of laying off it in a tight zone, hitter's zone early on.
Skaggs has stayed away this early part of the season from the changeup, his lowest percentage of changeups, but showing Yuli some respect here. See if he challenges him at 3 and 1. He does. Gets a called strike. It's 3 and 2.
All right, Yuli, now you're ready.
Ball 4. Astros have 2 on with 2 outs. That'll bring up Alex Bregman. A couple starts ago, Skaggs walked 4 against the Texas Rangers. Ended up throwing a career high in pitches in that game in Arlington, 114 to get through 5 innings. Bregman had a good road trip. Has that average up to 253. Five-game hitting streak, hitting .381 during that stretch. Takes the first one for a called strike. Skaggs with a big differential between the fastball around 92 and that curveball around 75. Bregman does have a career home run against Skaggs. Upstairs, it's 1 and 1. For the most part, the Angels do not want Skaggs to throw too many more than 100 pitches. He's had some injury issues throughout his career. Tonight might be a different scenario because they have really been taxing their bullpen in the last homestand and really all season long. There's a strike on the corner. Alex thought it may have been out. It's 1 and 2.
Well, early on with some of the pitches we've seen, that pitch really hasn't been called by Stu Sherwater. You can see why just off that outside edge. The Astros have very good strike zone command. And back to your point on Skaggs, he's only started his career high in starts in a season is 18.
Down and in. And your point about 20 pitches per inning for Skaggs, we've hit that mark in this first inning.
Love it when a plan comes together.
Mike Scioscia looking on. He has seen his starters really struggle in that last homestand. Not getting deep into many games. 2-2 is on the ground. Valbuena makes the play to second base, getting the force on Yuli Gurriel. That'll be the final out. 2 men left on base, scoreless, heading to the second.
Chevy stroke hole. Remember, you can find us on our Twitter page at ATT Sportsnet SW. What matchup are you most looking forward to in this Astros-Angels series? Astros starters versus Trout. Or is it the starters versus Pujols? About the Astros big three going up against Shohei Ohtani tomorrow, or the second base shortstop going head-to-head. Please vote. We'll reveal the results later in the broadcast. TK.
All right, Julia, here is Albert Pujols leading off the second inning against Gerrit Cole. And he rips one, but right there is Jose Altuve. Astros had him played perfectly. Altuve took a line drive, didn't have to move, but the glove moved after he caught it.
Yep, that was a rocket up the middle. They're going to play Albert Pujols in that heavy shift situation. That's a great look. Still nothing at where Altuve's playing. Kind of knuckled out there. Albert may have squared that one up.
See Altuve recreating that line drive, saying, I'm glad I caught it and it didn't catch me.
105.2 miles an hour off the bat.
Oof.
That's barreled.
We talk about a ball knuckling off the bat. When you really hit it well, sometimes there's very little spin off the baseball bat.
Yeah, 105 mile an hour knuckleball is not easy to catch.
Here's Luis Valbuena, an Astro in 2015 and 16, an Angel the last couple of years. Taking a strike from Cole, and there's another one. It's 0-2.
It's that curveball.
Man,
that is beautifully done.
And then he dots up a fastball and gets a weak contact right back to the mound. Cole coming off the mound and making the play. And there's 2 quick outs in the second.
As long as we're being impressed by what Gerrit Cole has gone out and done this season, how about his ability to bounce off the mound? Looks like a guy who recognizes moments and isn't afraid to field his position.
Yeah, he has been as impressive as a starter can be with a new team after 4 starts. I mean, Verlander came on the scene last year and was remarkable, but this has been equally as impressive. Here's a pitch outside for a ball to the Cozart. It's 1-0. I mean, the combination of 7 innings for 4 straight starts, 2 runs or fewer in 4 straight starts. Astros pitcher has never done that in history. There have been starts to a season that have gone like that. Dallas Keuchel last year, Roger Clemens in 05, but never at the start of an Astros career. 1-1 the count to Zach Cozart. He's got that easy 96, 97, 98 mile an hour fastball. He's got the slider that comes in around 88. And we saw that curveball. It's normally around 80. Last time he dropped it in at 82. And a changeup in the upper 80s as well. That's the slider. Cozart looks back and says, "Are you sure? Because I don't think I can hit that pitch."
No, I think you're exactly right. There are moments that you recognize filth and you tell the umpire, if you keep calling that, there's no chance tonight. Because that was pretty nasty.
That was at the knees on the corner, diving away from the right-hand hitter. This ball is softly hit towards Pregame. Nice short hop by the Astros third baseman, and Gerrit Cole has a strong start. 6 up, 6 down, only 9 pitches needed in the second inning.
Home game is Dollar Dog Night presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. Enjoy all the dollar dogs you can eat tomorrow night when the Astros take on the Angels. For your ticket to Dollar Dog Night, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Might be another good reason to show up tomorrow, huh, Todd?
Shohei Ohtani and Dollar Dog Night.
Believe that.
About 35 extra visiting media members today from Japan as Shohei was out there in front of the dugout. Not going to hit in either game in this series. Does not hit before or after a start.
He might be thankful for that.
With the way Gerrit Cole looks?
Gerrit Cole and then facing Uncle Chuck tomorrow.
That's right. Marwin Gonzalez fouls one back. Marwin down to the count 0-2. There's Shohei. He was introduced to the local astronaut from Japan who's on hand to take pictures. And that's just part of the media contingent that follows each and every move. When Shohei throws a bullpen, the Japanese media interviews the bullpen catcher after.
That's awesome.
Looking forward to seeing him tomorrow.
I am too. I'm glad that the blister issue is gone by the wayside and he can show up tomorrow and entertain the crowd.
Mike Scioscia and the Angels have used him on a once-per-week basis so far. Pitched the first couple of Sundays, and he got to start push back the next time to a Tuesday, and he'll go again tomorrow on Dollar Dog Tuesday night here at Minute Maid Park. I have a feeling there'll be a lot of people that show up for that game who don't have plans right now and want to check out Shohei Ohtani.
I hope they do, because you get to see a very good offense facing a very good pitcher.
Mike Scioscia continues to move up the charts, 19th year with the Angels, 21st all-time in victories as a manager. Now he's trying to track down the guy who he played for most of his career, Tommy Lasorda. Marwin sends one deep to left field, but it hooks, and it's just foul.
Oh, good swing from Marwin, just a little too quick, but that's that curveball from Tyler Skaggs. It comes back down and in to the right-handed hitters. Mattress Firm Supermo shows you coming right back into that swing path. Just a little too much top hand from Marwin. Creates that top spin and gets it fouled. Doesn't mean he can't straighten one out.
Up the middle, Marwin has himself a base hit to start the bottom of the second. Marwin, a leadoff base runner for the Astros. The other thing an inning like Gerrit Cole does for your team, not only is it a quick 9-pitch inning against the Angels in the second inning, but Skaggs had to work a little bit to get through that first, and now he's right back out there in the second.
No, that's a great thing and a very good point. Had to work hard throwing 20-plus pitches. Didn't have much time to catch his breath on the bench before heading back out there, and already giving up a leadoff hit to Marwin on a good piece of hitting, staying inside it, but jammed him a little bit, I think.
Evan took an inside pitch and hit his first home run of the year in yesterday's game.
Remember that feeling, Evan.
Evan turned to the dugout in Chicago and said, finally, this one slowly hit towards short. They could get two on Gaddis, and they turn it. Cozart to Kinsler to Pujols, and Gaddis grounds into a double play. Just like that, the leadoff base runner wiped out, and there's two away for Brian McCann.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of a conversation between right-handed hitters saying that even though the scouting report says that Tyler Skaggs rarely throws that changeup, we've seen quite a few already in the first couple innings here.
Yeah, he was down in his first 4 starts this year. He was down to 6.6% of his pitches were changeups. Usually he was in the 10 to 15% range in the past. But today, a higher percentage than any of his previous 4 by a large margin. Starts off McCann with a strike. Bryan comes in leading all American League catchers in batting average, .318, on base percentage, and OPS. Checks a swing on a pitch in. It's 1-1. Mentioned Skaggs throwing 21 pitches in the first inning. was the same number of pitches Jaime Barria needed in one at bat against Brandon Belt yesterday.
That was incredible.
There's a nice breaking ball for a strike. It's 2-2. One of the reasons Barria only went 2 innings and the bullpen had to soak up the rest of the game. 7 innings of work for the Angels bullpen yesterday. 2-2 pitch is a high fly ball to right field. McCann got under it. Cole Calhoun waits for it and puts it away. Leadoff single is wiped out and nobody left on base. Still scoreless.
UCLA over the Yankees, and we've got details on how Springer's formal seaside wedding turned into a dance party. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded Fridays before pregame and re-airing all week long only on AT&T Sportsnet. Hey, you guys aren't the only ones happy to be home. That's me too. But the guys in the clubhouse today, it was actually fun to ask them just, what was it like when you woke up this morning? You took that first step outside, and Colin McHugh made me laugh, and just he feels like he's in such a better mood today because of the weather. And it is a beautiful day in downtown Houston, but these guys couldn't wait to just get home, really kind of unpack, know that they have a good stretch here at home, and then with the way that they're playing too, all in a very good place.
Gerrit Cole facing Cole Calhoun. Was that Colin McHugh or you, Julia, who said that?
I did wake up in a better mood today.
Thank
Had a lot to do with the weather.
On we go.
Dodge that bullet, huh, Todd?
El Tuve was like, I didn't have to wear a jacket today.
Swing and a miss. Gerrit Cole ahead of Cole Calhoun, 0-2.
Yeah, I think all three of us take it for granted. We hate the cold, and for us trying to adapt to the cold was exhausting.
No doubt. Gerrit Cole, a couple of strikeouts in the first inning, 3 ground outs, a fly out and a line out. Cole Calhoun spells his name with a K, but the way Gerrit's been going, he might need to borrow that.
He almost turned it the other way around for the backwards K. Tell you what, he is not afraid to come with the heater inside both sides of the plate, and there you go.
98. Just filthy. Gerrit Cole with his 3rd strikeout has retired the first 7 tonight.
Yeah, that fastball is filled with hate fuel right now. And that's that arm side of the plate that's inside to right-handed hitters. And that's just, man, coming in hot.
Brian McCann has caught a lot of good pitchers in his career, but when he first started working with Gerrit in spring training, he was really impressed.
Well, remember last year when Verlander came over, the excitement. I mean, he was a 12-year-old kid again playing the game because he was catching Justin Verlander. I've got to imagine it's a pretty similar feeling going out there and working with Gerrit Cole.
Cole now facing Bel Air High School's Chris Young from right here in Houston. Played with the Red Sox last year. Tried to hold up, but he goes around. It's 1-1. Young has always hit well against the Astros, and especially here in his hometown. He's got a .380 average at Minute Maid Park. But he's behind Gerrit Cole, 1-2. The Angels will face Gerrit Cole, Charlie Morton, and Justin Verlander, the top 3 in the American League in ERA. Cole in second, starting the night. We'll see where he ends up. Morton in first and Verlander in third. That does not happen much this late into a season. Astros already 23 games in, moving around the rotation for the 5th time. Just missed the edge. 2-2. 98 again. He has been up around 98 consistently early.
Andy Anderson says pretty good job by McCann just to stick that pitch on the outside corner.
Fly ball into center field. Jake will drift back a few steps. He has it lined up. Second out.
Our best in Texas power pitch is presented by Ford. 2017, a lot of fastballs. And keep in mind, in 2017, it was a little bit different fastball. A lot of two-seam fastballs. That last start against the Seattle Mariners, the four-seam fastball coming into play, but got really heavy on the slider. Mostly because we've heard Seattle not very good against spin. We know that spin is going out there and winning ball games for the Astros. Didn't get a lot of punch outs, but got a lot of outs. It was an effective pitch for him.
McCann said after that one, that's the kind of game that you may be even more impressed with than his big strikeout game, because he did work with less than his best stuff.
Even AJ said the same thing. We were doing post game after that, and AJ came out and was kind enough to join us, and he said, you know, that's where you get to see guys when they're really battling, not having their A+ stuff.
Not battling tonight. He looks in command through 3 innings. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, scoreless. Presented by BBVA Compass are now available for kids 12 and under. Buddies will receive 4 tickets to an Astros regular season game, a backpack, cap, socks, and exclusive benefits throughout the year for only $25 plus tax. Visit astros.com/buddies today to sign up. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Astros and Angels on a beautiful Monday night. Day game on Wednesday. A couple of night games leading up to that. And a day off Thursday. Angels in town, or excuse me, A's in town over the weekend, and then the Yankees come in town. So a lot of baseball here at Minute Maid Park over the next week and a half. Here's Jake Marisnick.
When you are struggling, you want to face a guy you got good numbers against. Jake has good numbers against Tyler Skaggs.
4 for 4 with a bomb. Not too shabby. Jake on the ground towards short. Kozart backhands and makes the play for out number 1. Back to the top of the order for the Astros, George Springer. Mentioned the lack of a lot of starts for Tyler Skaggs in his career, with a career high of 16 last year. Even last year, he was on the DL with a right oblique strain from late April till early August. Yet that was his highest start total of his career. Up until 2014, he had 18 of them. Just not a lot of starts. Tommy John surgery. When he's been healthy, he's been effective. The key is he just hasn't been able to maintain a full season of health. 0-1 the count to Springer. Up high, 1-1.
It's really been the issue for the Angels starting rotation the last 3 years. Keeping those guys healthy. Heaney is another left-hander in their rotation that they try and keep on the mound.
To the right side, played there by Kinsler. And Skaggs now with 2 outs in the 3rd.
Shutterbox spotlight falls on. Young man coming to the plate. Tuve, 424. To the plate up there, and he's going to go out there and rake on it. We're going to highlight that outside pitch, getting extended on some of the off speed, just shooting it back up the middle, but he also has pretty good pop going the other way. I actually saw some baseballs on that road trip that maybe if he had hit them here in Minute Maid, might have a home run on the board.
The White Sox really crowded him in that
they did.
series. They kept everything in off the plate against Altuve. He grounded out the 3rd his first time up. White Sox have gotten a little angry after being swept by the Astros.
It could be either angry or they could be overjoyed at the fact that the Astros left town.
They are up 7-0 already in their game in the 2nd inning against the Mariners.
Mike Leake is wearing it.
Astros winning 10-0, 10-1 the first 2 games, and then 7-1 yesterday. As a 27-2 beatdown of the Chicago White Sox, and White Sox trying to take out their frustration on the Mariners this series. Altuve down to the count, 0-2. Little pop up into shallow right. The second baseman Kinsler calls off Calhoun, and then nobody takes it. Altuve ends up with a base hit. Of course he does. Kinsler looked like he was calling the whole way, and Calhoun veered off.
It almost looked as if he told Ian Kinsler, hey, somebody started screaming behind me, and that's why I pulled off.
Altuve with a 2-out base hit on a little pop-up.
Kinsler going out, calls it, puts that glove up. Oh, you know what he was saying? He goes, that wasn't me. That was somebody in the stands that called that. Because Kinsler pulled off. Calhoun was giving him plenty of room to make the catch.
Kinsler new to the Angels. Abe heard a voice from the stands that sounded like somebody he thought was Cole Calhoun.
Somebody in the peanut gallery gets an assist. Matches for him, Supermo. There it is. Somebody behind me called you off.
Kinsler, after the Rangers from 06 to 13 and the Tigers from 14 through 17, has to get used to Calhoun's voice. Here's a pitch in the dirt. It's 1-0. As happy as everybody will be for Jose Altuve, they also know that Altuve gets more of those type of hits than anybody else.
It's unbelievable, yeah. And every guy on the bench right now is going, really, that guy? What do you think Jake Marisnick is thinking right now?
Right.
He's going to take his hat, his helmet, his shoes, his glove, and fire him in the stands.
Altuve with a flare hit with 2 outs, and now Correa. Mentioned his numbers after his last double. Last 15 plate appearances. 8 for 11, 3 walks and a sac fly. Has that average up to 359. That includes a couple of home runs. Two and 1 the count.
League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Carlos Correa off to a great start. So is Jose Altuve, but Mookie Betts is leading the way in the American League batting average lead. Manny Machado and ex-Astro Jed Lowry on the board also. Some big numbers from some very good ball players to start out 2018.
Correa keeps moving up the charts. Remember Altuve had a couple of 27% hit probability hits on that road trip?
What was that one?
21.
Oh, it's getting lower and he's getting better. That's unbelievable.
Right. 21% chance of a hit based on the launch angle and the exit velocity. Works in Altuve's favor. Astros won a game on a 0% hit probability earlier against San Diego. Towards third, Valbuena in fair territory. His throw is low and scooped by Pujols for the final out of the inning. So the Astros have a hit. 1 man left on base. We're through 3, still scoreless.
Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit attsportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you are all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply. TK.
All right, Julia, on we go to the 4th inning. Angels and Astros scoreless so far. Gerrit Cole facing Ian Kinsler. From the backhand side on the shortstop side of the bag, Jose Altuve looking like a shortstop, making a nice throw to first for the first out of the inning.
Get Out and Play is presented by Toyota. It's pretty unbelievable. We talked about Mike Trout being able to go down and get pitches and drive them out of the zone, but this was one of the sillier ones we've seen, and even Colin McHugh agreed with us. Sometimes that's all you can do with some of these big league hitters is just say, wow.
Cole was able to get Trout swinging his first time up. Cole, first time through the lineup, struck out 3. Starts him off with a breaking ball.
This is slugging percentage, and those numbers are correct. He loves that thing down. Goes down and gets that, tries to elevate it. What I love is we've seen Gerrit Cole try and get in on the hands still.
Throws him a slider that breaks over for a strike. It's 1-1. In the air to center. Marisnik puts it away for out number 2. Cole faced the Angels on June 21st, 2013 in Anaheim. 6 1/3 innings of 2-run baseball. And then 3 years later on June 5th in Pittsburgh, 6 2/3 innings of 3-run baseball. 1 win, 1 no decision. Now facing them tonight for the 3rd time in his career. Justin Upton has the best numbers of any of the Angels against Cole. 4 for 11 coming in. Upstairs for a ball. It's 1-0. Good mix of strikes. 29 of 41 so far for Cole, despite missing on that first one to Upton. Curveball 1-1. Cole last year, OPS against right-handers 688, OPS against left-handers 794. Angels with 2 left-handers in the lineup tonight. And if you're wondering why they don't have any more lefties in the lineup against Cole, they just don't have any. They have 2 left-hand hitters on their whole roster.
Makes the decision easy.
1-2 pitch called, 3rd strike outside corner. Cole with his 4th strikeout. Another 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. Still looking for our first run tonight. Half of the 4th inning. Yuli Gurriel will lead off for Houston. It'll be Yuli, Alex Bregman, Marwin Gonzalez. Tyler Skaggs, a little bit of 1st inning trouble, but then he's been good since. Did walk Yuli Gurriel in that 1st. And a called strike. Skaggs last year had better numbers on the road than at home, and this year has been the same. Got hit around by Boston at home in his last start. 6 runs on 4 1/3 innings. Yuli into right field. Cole Calhoun is there. Yuli hits the ball hard, but lines out to right for the first out of the 4th. Fourth career start for Skaggs at Minute Maid Park. last year ended up with a no decision, pitching here in late September.
Another batted ball for Yuli, over 95 miles an hour off the bat. That was 96.7. That's all he does. It's unbelievable, even going the other way.
Nothing to show for it as he hit it right at Cole Calhoun.
Go sit next to Jose.
Yeah, but he is the king of 95 plus off the bat.
It's amazing. He's such a good pure hitter.
1-1 the count to Pregame. In that no decision Skaggs pitched last year, Pregame did have a home run. Skaggs giving up 4 runs in 5 innings. Pregame pops this one up. Left fielder Chris Young comes in. And there's 2 away.
He's going to have nightmares about that pitch. That was a hanging changeup up in the zone. He just got under it just a hair.
Skaggs continues to throw a lot of changeups tonight.
Yeah, it has been pretty amazing how he's gone to that changeup, because I'm with you. We were checking out the numbers in our scouting reports before the game. You almost have to go back and check him again to see how little he threw the changeup, but tonight he is throwing it a ton.
11 out of 51 pitches. A little more than 20%. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. He singled his first time up. Drops in the breaking ball for a strike. Skaggs has done much better this year with a first pitch strike than he has at any point in his career. Up to 68% first pitch strikes this season. Two guys tonight at the top of the list. Lowest slugging percentage against the fastball. What a 1 the count. Slices one into the crowd. It's 1-2. Astros and Angels first meeting of 19 on the season. Astros coming in a game and a half ahead of Los Angeles in the AL West. 16-7, and the Angels are 14-8. The Angels' record has been strange this year. They're 9-1 on the road and 5-7 at home.
It is rather odd.
Just came off a 1-5 homestand. Marwin breaks his bat on that foul ball. Astros have had success though in their head-to-head matchups the last couple years against the Angels. 12-7 last year and 13-6 the year before.
Some good games between these two teams. There was a lot of talk about the Angels really competing for the American League West. So that was this was one of the series on the calendar that everybody was looking forward to.
Ball hit hard for a base hit through the hole between first and second. Marwin is 2 for 2 tonight as he picks up a 2-out hit in the 4th. Astros have 1 hit in every inning.
Yeah, the Angels are definitely the road warriors. Major League ranks this season. Not too shabby when the winning percentage is at 900.
See, second to the Astros in hits. Astros have played 14 road games. The Angels have played 10. Here's Evan Gattis. Swinging through the fastball. Evan grounded into a double play on the changeup his first time up. Evan with that home run in the finale of the series against the White Sox yesterday snapped a 25-game streak without a home run. That was the longest drought of his career. As he was running down to first base yesterday after he hit that home run, he looked in the dugout and said, finally.
Yeah, you just kind of hope that that's the one that clicks for him and get that swing into shape. Part of the appeal of Evan Gattis for me is just being a guy that goes up there and what you see is what you get. A burly, strong, bare-handed man that's going up there just tomahawking some pitches when he gets them.
You can see he's working on things in between each swing. He's trying to remind himself on certain swing cues. Fights that one off and stays 0-2. You just smell the bat.
Yeah, when you foul a ball off, yeah, the seams will sometimes kind of cut through the wood and it smells like burning wood. That's why you see some of the guys sniff the bat every once in a while.
There you go. Skaggs started off the mound towards the dugout. That just missed the corner. It's 1-2.
Some pretty good pitches earlier in the count to hit. Just a late last minute tail on that pitch to get off the plate.
Bounces in there, not far enough away for Marwin to advance. That was 2-2. Astros with 3 singles and a double in this game. The double by Correa with 2 outs in the first inning, the only base runner to reach as far as second base for the Astros. Lapine is slowly coming back. It's almost like it's sprouting.
I like it.
On the ground, Valbuena on one big hop, takes the play to second, and that'll do it for the Astros in the fourth. 1 hit, 1 left on, just like the last inning. Eight hits shy of 3,000 in his career. Third active behind Ichiro and Adrian Beltre. He is the active leader in home runs, runs batted in, runs scored. And against the Astros in his career, nobody has hit more home runs than Pujols. 57 of them in the regular season, 63 including the postseason. Top 7 all-time in home runs with 618 and top 9 all-time in RBIs with 1930. Quite a career for Pujols as he digs in there to start the fifth.
He's got 3 more years on that contract too.
Astros with 3 on the left side of the infield. They don't play Correa as far deep at home here at Minute Maid Park as they would in the more expansive outfield in Anaheim. I saw Correa in shallow left field last year in Anaheim.
Yeah. And if they didn't need to throw the ball to first, Yuli'd be over there with them.
Pitch a little bit low. It's 1-1. Pujols hit a ball very hard his first time up, but lined it right at Jose Altuve, who was positioned perfectly. On the ground, foul. And it's 1-2. That line out by Pujols his first time up was the only exit velocity that was more than 100 miles an hour hit by the Angels in this game. In fact, it was the hardest hit baseball of the night at 105.2. Cole ahead 1-2. And he gets him. Strikeout number 5 for Gerrit Cole.
Would have been a little bit of a statement pitch. Just put the accolades of Albert Pujols on the screen, which are quite a few, and he's done a lot of damage here in Minute Maid Park, but this is the epitome of a wipeout slider against a potential Hall of Famer.
That was kind of a slur. It almost looked like he had the knuckle up like a curveball. Yeah. It was kind of a tweener. He came into this inning 20 fastballs, 10 sliders, 6 curves. He has had a higher whip percentage on the curveball than anybody else in baseball this year by a good margin. Here's Luis Valbuena. He takes the fastball up at 97, 1-0. Valbuena tapped one softly back to Gerrit Cole his first time up. Valbuena, one of the 2 lefties Cole will face in the lineup tonight. The other one is Cole Calhoun, 2 batters from now. That catches the corner. It's 2-1.
Backdoor it, why don't you? It was a great job. Might have been a little bit off the plate, but there's so much movement coming back to the plate. It kind of deceives the umpire a little bit.
Angels with their first base runner. Luis Valbuena hits one through the shift in between Altuve and Correa. First hit, first base runner. He's there with 1 out in the 5th.
It's the first game of a 10-game homestand as the Astros take on the Angels, A's, and Yankees. Tickets are still available, so don't miss your chance to see the Stros take on these AL rivals. Visit astros.com/tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Here's Zach Cozart. He fouls one back. You know, watching Gerrit Cole cruise through the first 13 batters he faced tonight, it's hard not to let your mind drift a little bit and think that he does have the potential. In the history of the Astros, they've had a lot of fine pitchers. We have seen our share of no-hitters. He does have that potential with his stuff.
Yeah, if he gets the right matchup, no doubt about it.
Because to your point earlier, he has been efficient with his pitches while striking out a whole lot this year, leading the American League and possibly by the end of the night leading the major leagues.
Well, his last start out, he went 7 innings, only punched out 5, but threw 95 pitches, and he's averaging 98 pitches per outing.
And he's averaging 7 innings per outing, so that's where you get the efficient pitch count.
Imagine if he was getting a better strike zone.
That one was close.
Wow, pretty good take.
Cozart grounded out to Bregman his first time up. Now it's 3-1. Well, the first little bit of a blip on the radar against Cole tonight. He gives up the hit, and now he's down on the count. He has been ahead of almost every hitter tonight. Cozart coming over after 7 years with the Cincinnati Reds, so he's familiar with Gerrit from their NL days. 1 for 15 in his career against Cole. Ball 4. First time working out of the stretch, and he walks Zach Cozart. 2 runners on with 1 out. I'll bring up Cole Calhoun. Calhoun struck out his first time up. Gerrit's never been a big ground ball guy, especially by comparison to the other guys in the rotation. You have ground ball specialists in Keuchel, and McCullers has turned into that, and Charlie Morton. But he did have his highest ground ball percentage last year of his career.
Which is odd considering he gave up so many home runs too.
Yeah, a lot of the fly balls ended up leaving the park. 33 of them. Excuse me, 31 of them in 33 starts. 1-1 the count to Calhoun. Getting such a rhythm working out of the windup all night. Cole walked the first batter. Cozart he faced out of the stretch. Now facing Calhoun. Ground ball towards first, and it's through into right field. That'll score a run. Balbuena comes home. And the Angels take a lead 1-0 on the RBI single by Cole Calhoun.
Not getting hit hard. Just a lot of ground balls in the right spot. Cole gets the head out on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner. Rolls it into that 4-hole in between the first baseman and second baseman. You see the Astros outfield again playing to the opposite field of the hitter.
So after Gerrit Cole had retired the first 13 batters tonight, a single, a walk, and a single, and the Angels lead at 1-0. Chris Young flied to center in his first at bat. Strike call. Astros with 3 on the left side of the infield. Makes it a little more difficult to turn a double play. You don't have the natural positioning. If Altuve has one to his right side, he has to make a quick determination whether to go to the bag or let Correa try and take it. In on the hands. 1-1.
Cole pitching into that shift with the fastballs in.
See the shift. If a ball's only a step or two to Altuve's right, he will have to go field it and then try and race to the bag. Or he could elect to throw home. Two and one. Altuve's talking about that right now with Alex Bregman. About what they do with a ground ball.
Well, if Altuve has to move anywhere but in, he's not going to turn the double play.
Cozart on third base.
It would have to be a ground ball right at second base or something he could charge in and cut across.
Good breaking ball. Young thought it was inside. It's 2-2. That's a big pitch for Gerrit Cole.
I agree with you. he misses with this spot. It falls to 3-1, but instead 2-2 count. Coming back and grabbing that inside portion of the plate. I'm sure Chris Young is in disbelief that it got back far enough to be called a strike. Now you're playing defense as a hitter against a guy throwing 98 on the edges. Interesting to see McCann pretty much setting up right down the middle for a fastball in a 2-strike count, not really asking him to paint an edge, maybe leaving the decision to Gerrit Cole.
Set up right down the middle again. This one bounces in there. McCann with a block. And the count runs full on Young.
Well, it's interesting that Calhoun hasn't moved yet. He has a stolen base on the season. No slouch as far as speed. He's got reasonable speed. But Cole's intent is on Chris Young. Might have been an opportunity to sprint and really stay out of that double play.
There goes the runner. Ground ball towards Altuve. He waits for it. Steps on the bag. Out at first base. Altuve turns the double play to get out of trouble in the 5th inning. Mike Scioscia not sure. He's waiting to hear from his video guys.
I'm waiting to see too. Calhoun, reasonable speed. Got him. Nice play by Jose Altuve in that tough position. The Mattress Firm Supermo confirms it for us. Big double play to end that inning and keep that damage small for Gerrit Cole. Look at our GMC defensive rankings. Still not going to let you in on that, huh? Martin Maldonado behind home plate. Ian Kinsler in addition up the middle at second base. They're of course always good. And Andrelton Simmons with the night off is a very good infielder. Ranges into the outfield to make some great plays. But they are strong up the middle with Maldonado, Simmons, Kinsler, and Mike Trout.
And that was one of their focuses this offseason, was to improve defensively, and they have. Cozart normally playing at third base with Andrelton Simmons at short. Tonight he's at shortstop with Valbuena at third. And Ian Kinsler over at second base. Got Maldonado behind the plate. 1-1 the count to Brian McCann. 1-2. Well, Skaggs starting out McCann with a strike in this at bat. 13 out of 17 first pitch strikes for Skaggs, and that seems to be his MO this year.
Definitely helped the pitch count in today's game. He trying to work it.
He wanted that second one to be a called strike. That was called a ball. McCann fouls one just to our left. Skaggs grew up an Angels fan. He's from Santa Monica High School. Started his career with the Angels, traded to the Diamondbacks for Dan Herron, and came back a few years later with the D-backs in 12 and 13. Ooh, nice pitch. Breaking ball for a called third strike. Skaggs picks up his first strikeout. He drops a curveball in there on McCann.
Yeah, it hasn't been a lot of swing and misses.
Pretty good draft for the Angels in 2009.
Be like MVPs and flamethrowers.
Here's Jake Marisnick. Jake with a late swing. Jake grounded out his first time up. For 40% of their rotation right now. The Astros will miss Garrett Richards. He pitched in the game Saturday. Oh, we've mentioned it a number of times during Jake's struggle. It seems like he has been in so many 0-2 counts that he keeps trying to battle his way through pitchers' counts. Stays alive there. Jake with a base hit yesterday. Turned out to be a big hit. The Astros ended up scoring 5 runs in the inning. Jake was the go-ahead run in that 7th inning. The Astros broke open a 1-1 game and made it a 6-1 game in Chicago. Astros with 1 hit in each inning. Double by Correa in the first, single by Marwin in the second, another single by Marwin in the fourth, and Altuve loop hit in the third. Not a lot of runners in scoring position tonight. Jake goes down swinging for back-to-back strikeouts. That's 2 in the game for Tyler Skaggs. Watch every out-of-market Astros game all season long live on your favorite supported devices with MLB.tv. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. I'll bring up George Springer. Springer has grounded out a couple of times tonight.
Come on, George.
Takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Springer hits it hard, but right at Mike Trout, who catches it right around his knees on that hard hit sinking line drive. So Skaggs with a 1-2-3 inning. Springer hits it hard, but has nothing to show for it. Sportsnet is presented by Rooms to Go. When it's time to decorate, Rooms to Go makes it easy and fast, all at great low prices. Sixth inning baseball, not a whole lot of offense tonight. Angels with 1 run on 2 hits. Both of those hits last inning. The Astros scoreless on 4 hits. Martin Maldonado, number 9 hitter for the Angels, leads things off against Gerrit Cole. Cole did not allow a base runner to the first 13 batters of this game and starts off Maldonado with a good slider for a swinging strike. Cole to work a little bit last inning, 23 pitches, by far the most of his evening. He did throw his first changeup of the night in the last inning. He's been mostly 4-seam fastball. He has mixed in 14 sliders and 11 curves. Ahead of Maldonado, 0-2. The trend last year for the Astros was score a lot of runs on the road and for some reason not score a whole lot of runs at home, and that trend has continued in the early parts of 2018.
Luckily, it didn't happen in the playoffs.
No.
They did wonderful here at Minute Maid Park in the playoffs, scoring a ton of runs and winning some big ball games. But you're right, here to start this 2018 season, we've seen this before. And we saw it last season, but coming into this ball game, only 9 games at home compared to 14 on the road, but 216 average doesn't make any sense for these guys.
And only 1 runner in scoring position tonight after 5 innings. This ball hit in the air to center field. That will send Marisnik back. He waits for it for out number 1. This year they're right around 2 runs more per game on the road than at home. 5.7 on the road and 3.8 at home. And this came off a stretch where they scored 7 runs or more in 5 straight games. Tonight it's been a little bit quiet offensively. Gerrit Cole looking for a little bit of help, as he's been very good in his start. Now facing the lineup for the 3rd time tonight, Ian Kinsler. Kinsler flied to left and grounded out to Altuve, who was playing on the shortstop side in the shift.
And on the other side of the baseball, the Astros are fortunate that the team ERA at home is 2.14. Still doing an extremely good job holding down hitters in this ballpark.
The run scored by the Angels last inning against Cole was the first earned run he's allowed that was not on a home run. It allowed 3 solo home runs, as the only 3 earned runs allowed in his first 4 starts. The Angels pieced together a few base hits. The RBI hit was a ground ball that just found its way past Yuli Gurriel in the right field. He sends 96 past Kinsler, and Cole ahead of the count 1-2.
It's actually the first earned run he's allowed in the 5th inning. The only run he's allowed in the 5th inning so far this season. Those 3 previous earned runs were in the 1st inning and the 7th innings. Everything in between, it's goose eggs until today.
Called 3rd strike. Kinsler goes down looking. That is strikeout number 6 for Gerrit Cole.
Just unfair.
He now sits 2nd in the major leagues in strikeouts, tied with Max Scherzer.
Painting at that speed is unfair right there.
Here's Mike Trout. Good curveball for a strike.
And his ability to locate 3 pitches anytime he wants, anywhere, allows him to mix up the sequences to these hitters, too.
Popped up. Yuli Gurriel, a long run. George Springer comes in. Springer's still coming. He can't quite get there. George has it fall just out of his reach. And it's 0-2 to Trout.
Valiant effort. Crowd appreciates it. got to play deep with Mike Trout up there. See Yuli playing in that pull position, and George basically coming off the warning track in deep right field. Didn't have enough hang time.
And Altuve's nowhere close because he's on the shortstop side of the bag.
Because if he was close, he'd be calling it.
Over the head of Cole into center field. That was a rocket off the bat of Mike Trout. 0-2 single. His first hit of the night, and that's the third hit allowed by Gerrit Cole.
Return to sender. This will be the two-seam fastball on our Mattress Firm Supermo. That is barreled up nicely right back at Gerrit Cole, and I am very thankful he was able to be quick enough to get out of the way of that.
Came back at him at 106.
A lot harder than that, didn't it?
Especially when you're 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Well, he has not thrown many two-seamers this year.
No.
In fact, that's the big change in his repertoire is he has thrown more breaking balls, more sliders, more curves, and he's thrown a lot fewer two-seamers and just lived with a four-seamer when he throws a fastball. Oh, and 1 the count to Justin Upton. Cole leads the American League with 47 strikeouts. Mentioned he's second now, tied with Max Scherzer with 47. Only Patrick Corbin with 48 has 1 more. Trout 3 for 3 in steals so far this year.
Good time to run.
Well, the star power in this series: Trout, Pujols, the new star Ohtani, the 5 guys in this rotation. There goes Trout, pitches a ball. The throw is a little bit late. Trout now 4 for 4 in steals, and he moves into scoring position with 2 away.
Trout using another one of those 5 tools, speed, getting himself into scoring position with 2 outs. Brian McCann doing everything he possibly can to try and make that close.
One and two. This crowd hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about tonight. See if they get behind Gerrit Cole here with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Bounces away from McCann. That'll send Trout over to third base. So a wild pitch. It's now 2-2 on Justin Upton. And Trout moves into third with 2 away.
Much movement from Brian McCann, knowing that slider was coming.
just missed. The count runs full.
I'm going to have to take your word for it, TK.
Crowd wanted it.
I wanted it. Let's see what MD Anderson says. Woo. It's a tough take.
Yeah, how do you take that with 2 strikes?
Sometimes you get fooled.
You take
You
and hope.
can't pull the trigger and you just hope they call it a ball. You're right.
In the air, well hit. Marisnik all the way back, and this ball is going to be off the wall. Jake plays it off the wall. It's an RBI double for Justin Upton as he scalded one to center for an RBI. And that's now a 2-0 Angels lead.
It's a good piece of hitting by Justin Upton, getting it ready. Anticipating heater after that close call on that 5th pitch, down and away. Wanted it inside, leaked back out over the plate and allowed Justin to get those arms extended. Justin, one of the stronger guys in baseball.
Here's Albert Pujols. Pujols is lined out and struck out. Angels leading 2-0, both teams with 4 hits. Last hit by Justin Upton was 110 off the bat. That ball actually hooked on Jake as he was going back for it. Played it off the wall nicely, but he had no chance. That ball was on the wall in a hurry.
Scalded.
Cole ahead 0-2 on Pujols. Two runs matches the most allowed by Cole in any of his previous 4 starts. One and 2 the count. First 13 batters failed to reach base for the Angels.
Changeup.
Second changeup of the game. But after the first 13 failed to reach, 5 of the last 8 have reached base. 4 hits and a walk. Pujols stays alive.
Fighting for his life on that 97-mile-an-hour heater.
Well, the Angels have done a good job putting pitches on Cole the last 2 innings. He only had thrown 44 pitches through 4. But he needed 23 to get through the 5th, and this next offering will be his 23rd pitch of the 6th inning. Three and 2. McCann with a couple of mound visits this inning. (16, 9, 11, and 8), averaging 11 pitches per inning, and then all of a sudden 23 and 23.
Give credit to the Angels hitters.
Now McCann will even put a sign down after the mound visit. He does it. We're ready to go. 3-2, 2 outs. And we'll do it again. Cole does not want what McCann is offering right now.
It's really the first time we've seen them not be on the same page.
Pujols continues to spoil 2-strike pitches. 97-mile-an-hour fastball fouled back. The hardest Gerrit Cole's had to work in any of his previous 4 starts. 9th pitch of this at bat. Bullish draws the walk.
Wow, he's pretty happy about it too, huh?
So now the guy that started the rally for the Angels in the 5th inning with a single, Luis Valbuena. Hit one between Altuve and Correa in the shift. Strike called. Oh, 2.
It's got Valbuena thinking a little bit. He's not happy with the strikes being called, but those aren't terrible pitches. They're in the zone.
Like Sosha thought it was a little high. There you see Correa and Altuve on the right side. Looks pretty good on that strike zone.
Yeah, that's why it's the MD Anderson zone and not the Valbuena zone.
Swing and a miss. Gerrit Cole strikes out Luis Valbuena to end the 6th inning. Strikeout number 7 for Cole. Angels add to their lead. It's now 2-0. Angels leading the Astros, scoring a run in the 5th and the 6th. As they will face Tyler Skaggs with Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, and Yuli Gurriel due up. Altuve, a little pop fly ball single in the right his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Gerrit Cole threw 29 pitches the last inning, and A.J. Hinch goes over to talk to his starting pitcher. He is right on the borderline because he has thrown 52 the last 2 innings and 96 in the game.
Nobody up in that pen.
Maybe Gerrit said the right thing to A.J.
It's not as if he's getting his doors blown off. A couple of seeing eye singles.
The other nice thing for A.J. is he basically has another coach on the field, and he will confer with Brian McCann, and McCann is very honest with him.
Yes. Stories we can't divulge. We know that Brian McCann is very honest.
And if he tells A.J. this guy has something left in the tank, then A.J. is going to believe his catcher. Called strike.
You got to have that trust, and A.J. knows that, being an ex-catcher, because you are going to get those questions from your manager, from your pitching coach, because the pitcher's always going to say, I've got plenty, I've got it, give me the next inning. But the catcher's going to be a little more honest about things.
Altuve now with a 2-2 count.
And we've got to be honest too. We saw the bats come alive on the road. We would really like to see them come alive here at Minute Maid Park.
Skaggs has done a good job keeping them off balance. He has not gotten into many hitters counts tonight. That's inside. The count's full on Altuve. See if Jose can get on base to start things here in the 6th. Only one leadoff man for either side has been on base today. That was Marwin Gonzalez back in the 2nd, and he was erased 1 pitch later on a double play by Gaddis.
I wouldn't be shocked if Altuve cuts it in half. Ooh. Trying to.
Altuve hit 2 or 3 balls to the wall on that last road trip in right field.
And that's a pitch on that outer third. Four-seamer, and the attack, the barrel just underneath it.
This one to right field, sending Calhoun back. He has a play right in front of the wall. He puts it away for out number 1. Julia?
Hey guys, yeah, Carlos Correa coming up here 1 for 2 today, and coming off that red hot road trip. And AJ said before today's game about that week, and I asked him, was it similar to when we saw him go off really early in the season? He said, well, with Correa, he's always battling how aggressive to be. Does he go up ready to hit, or does he wait for his pitch? And pitch selection being something he's talked about a lot, but he's actually seen Correa be more aggressive, even with his swing path, his swing. So his mechanics are obviously where he becomes better than others, and when his timing is right, there's really not a pitch he can't hit, but it's just an all-around good look for Correa at the plate right now.
Yeah, he's not leaving the zone. Seems like he's taking pitches that are outside, and he's going after pitches that are on the plate.
Yeah, there's no way you can argue with that statement. He is aggressive in the zone. The swing looks great. Saw him drive a home run out the other way. Trying again there, and then we saw him in the same game go to left center field, so he's covering the entire plate.
A moment ago, he flashed his average through the last 8 games, which was .538. It's actually gone down tonight with a 1 for 2. Correa has 1 of the 4 Astros hits. He's the only Astro to get into scoring position when he doubled in the 1st inning with 2 outs. Now the count's 2-1. Skaggs so far this year on the road has only allowed 1 run in 16 1/3 innings. Outside, 3-1.
Those numbers you keep throwing out about Tyler Skaggs on the road in combination with the Astros offense at home are not a good combination if you're an Astros fan.
This inning, though, he started with a full count to Altuve, and now 3-1 on Correa. He did have a long wait in that last half inning. Correa line drive, caught, no, trapped, but they're going to make the play to first. Correa thought it was caught in the air. Doesn't matter as Kinsler makes the play for out number 2. Astros have hit some balls hard with no results. Yuli Gurriel lined out to right. Correa just hit a hard ground out to second. George Springer hit a rocket to center. Mike Trout. Here is Yuli. He's walked and that line out to right. Breaking ball for a strike.
Hector Rondon getting loose.
He just started warming up, which makes you wonder if he will start the inning or if Cole might get at least a couple of batters to see how he feels.
The bottom portion of that lineup coming up. Cozart's leading off. He walked last time. Then Calhoun had a base hit.
Yuli down to the count 1-2.
Yuli's seen plenty of changeups from Skaggs. We've seen a pretty good mix from Tyler Skaggs, not according to the scouting report we got before the game.
On the ground to short. Zach Cozart makes the play. Tyler Skaggs continues to look strong tonight. 6 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball so far. It's 2-0 Angels.
SW Fan NTX on Twitter to show us, and you could win a VIP experience. North Texas, April is your chance to show your spirit, so tweet now and win big. TK.
All right, Julie, on we go to the 7th inning. It is Gerrit Cole to start the 7th. There is bullpen action going with Hector Rondon, so maybe a short leash for Cole in this inning as he starts with 96 pitches facing Zach Cozart, Cole Calhoun, and Chris Young. And he starts off Cozart with a breaking ball for a strike. Cole has gone exactly 7 innings in each of his first 4 starts with the Astros. High pitch count the last 2 innings. Have him near 100 now. 23 pitches in the 5th and 29 more in the 6th. Missed the corner. It's 2-1.
Maybe fatigue setting in a little bit. That's what AJ Hinch is going to keep an eye on, is the command. Sometimes the command gets lost when that fatigue settles in. Velocity still there at 96. That was one of the more interesting things in talking to Lance McCullers Jr. after his start. He punched out the last 3 hitters in his start in Seattle on 2-seam fastballs that just ran like crazy, and he said it was due to fatigue. Actually created more movement.
Tried to hold up, and he goes around. McCann will track the ball down and flip it to Yuli Gurriel for the first out. That is strikeout number 8 for Gerrit Cole, and that puts him into first place in the major leagues in strikeouts.
That's good to see. Borderline, but he gets the benefit of the call down there at first base from Eric Cooper.
Cole now with 49 strikeouts, most in all of baseball. Calhoun singled in the first run of the game. He also snapped an 0 for 20 with that ground ball past Yuli Gurriel. If he hits that same ground ball, it'll be right at Jose Altuve in the shift. At the time, the Astros couldn't shift because there were runners on first and second. Here's a called strike. Fifth inning was a frustrating one for Gerrit. Single for Valbuena in between Correa and Altuve in the shift, and that ground ball by Calhoun found its way into the outfield. Sixth inning, Trout and Upton hit their respective hits very hard. Trout hit a laser over Cole's head, and then Upton hit a double off the center field wall. Those coming with 2 outs and scoring the second run. Now Gerrit trying to get through 7 and give his team a chance to come back in this 2-0 game. That is a strike at 97. Hasn't lost much on the velocity.
No, he hasn't. It's pretty impressive stuff.
Astros have Calhoun played the other way, which means Marwin doesn't have to move very far. Just on the fair side of the line as he makes the catch for out number 2. Well, it's nice when you have a couple of innings horses in your rotation. And we know Keuchel's capable of it. We've seen that before. But we've got Gerrit Cole and Justin Verlander as 2 of your 5, and they regularly go out there and throw 200 innings a year. That's a nice commodity to have. How many teams can say they have one of those guys?
It's pretty incredible stuff. But you can see Gerrit Cole basically willing himself through this 7th inning. Hopefully finish it off here with Chris Young.
Pitch misses. Trying to get a relatively quick inning here in the 7th as he started the inning with 96 pitches. High pitch count on the season for Cole.
Gerrit Cole, the ball got past him on the return throw from Brian McCann. He proceeded to look at Brian McCann and go, man, you got great sync on that.
Can't throw him a little two-seamer?
Yeah. Kind of put his glove out there as if to real casually catch it. It skated on past him. He looked immediately to Brian and said, hey, that was good movement.
Swing and a miss. Another good slider. And now Cole ahead 1-2. Pitch number 109 for Cole. Popped high in the air on the infield. Pregame coming in. Alex makes the play. A 1-2-3 7th for Gerrit Cole. He has gone 7 innings and allowed 2 runs or less in all 5 of his Astros starts. 7th inning stretch time at Minute Maid Park. It's 2-0 Angels.
Thanks for following us on Twitter as well as voting in today's poll and in all of our polls. And we asked you, what are you looking forward to when it comes to this Astros-Angels matchup? You guys want to see how the Big Three do against Shohei Ohtani. That's tomorrow night right here. We'll have the game.
Wow, 70% of them do.
Yeah, that's a big percentage.
What would the percentage be if you said the Big Three against Shohei Ohtani and Dollar Dogs?
Oh, I can't help but notice that when we throw out peanuts and Cracker Jacks in the 7th inning, you found the guys with the big hats.
Got to give it to the Fergusons. They keep showing up. I'm going to keep paying out peanuts.
Bottom half of the 7th, down 2-0. Astros with 9 outs to work with. Alex Bregman facing Tyler Skaggs, swings the first pitch and pops it up. Pujols looks to see if it's playable. It's close to the rail, and he reaches in and makes the play for out number 1. A fan could have gone after that.
Yep. Player reaches over that railing. It's fair game. Might be why you hear some of the discontent here in Minute Maid Park. Nothing to worry about there for Albert Pujols. Mattress Firm Supermo proves it. He's got plenty of experience playing first base in this yard.
So 1 pitch, 1 out for Skaggs. Now he faces one of the hitters that has given him trouble tonight. Marwin Gonzalez is 2 for 2. Marwin owns 2 of the Astros' 4 hits. Called strike on the outside corner. Skaggs continues to pound the zone with first pitch strikes. He is now 17 for 24 in first pitch strikes. One and one. Angels have their first bullpen action of the night. Skaggs approaches 100 pitches. That is a kid out of Houston, Justin Anderson, who has never pitched in a major league game, just called up by the Angels today.
Mr. Anderson. Welcome to the show. Not a bad place to open up if you're from the area.
St. Pius High School, went to University of Texas San Antonio. He's got about 50 members of his family and friends in attendance today. And Mike Scioscia thinks enough of him that in his debut, he's warming him up in a 2-0 game. Two and two.
Change-up.
Been a big pitch for Skaggs tonight.
It's been a great pitch for him. Kind of makes you wonder why he hasn't been throwing it more frequently early on. Coming into this start, Todd said right around 6.5% of the time. But in this ball game, it's been highly effective.
Foul tip caught by Maldonado. And that is a strikeout for Marwin. That is out number 2. The Astros annual Bayou Bash Street Festival is presented by HEB. This year's bash is this Saturday from 3 to 6 on Crawford Street. Bring the family out for crawfish, food trucks, games, and a live performance by the Bayou City Brass Band. Visit Astros.com/Bayou or call 1-877-9-ASTROS for more info. 3 strikeouts for Skaggs as he faces Evan Gattis. Misses inside 1-0. Evan a couple of ground outs, 1 a fielder's choice, 1 a double play. Only 1 runner in scoring position all night long for the Astros. A team that had scored 7 runs or more in 5 consecutive games. Carlos Correa doubled with 2 outs in the first inning. And that's it. Nobody else in scoring position. There's a strike called on Gattis. It's 2-1.
Good location from Skaggs in a 2-0 count. As a hitter, you're sitting on the fastball, but you want something that you can hammer. Not necessarily looking for that fastball in the outside corner. Maldonado going back out there.
Misses the corner. This time it's 3-1. Evan pops it up. Maldonado behind home plate. Puts it away. And Skaggs has now sent 10 in a row down as we are through 7. Angels continue to lead 2-0. To you by Nissan. Here are the clues on this first game of a 10-game homestand. Two-time All-Star. Oh, brother. And pitch for both the Astros and the Angels. If you have a guess, send it to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Gerrit Cole pitched very well in this game. He will leave as we head to the 8th, and Hector Rondon takes over.
Hector threw an inning in Chicago on the 21st. It was clean. Did so with 15 pitches.
Season high 109 pitches tonight for Gerrit Cole. 7 innings of 2-run baseball. That is 5 consecutive starts to begin his Astros career, where he's gone at least or exactly 7 innings and allowed no more than 2 runs in any of his 5 starts. Foul tip, it's 1-1. Martin Maldonado batting for the 3rd time.
Last Astro to do that, Dallas Keuchel last season. Rondon on for the 10th time.
When Dallas did it last year, he won AL Pitcher of the Month.
That's pretty good.
1-2 between Cole, Morton, and Verlander. We still have another week plus left in this month, but between those 3, they could all be battling for AL Pitcher of the Month. Slowly hit towards Altuve in the shift. Jose makes the throw to get Maldonado for out number 1. Now bring up Ian Kinsler. Called strike. Astros seeing their third of the 4 AL West opponents. First of a 3-game series. Already played the Rangers both home and away. Been out to Seattle on that last road trip. Now the Angels in for 3, and they'll see the A's over the weekend. Pitch misses by Rondon. It's 2-1. Throwing that slider to right-hand hitters, and he drops it in there for a strike. It's 2-2. Once he gets to 2 strikes against righties, he actually throws it more than the fastball. Fastball grounded towards Correa. 2 big hops. Carlos guns down Kinsler. 2 groundouts to start the 8th. No bullpen action going for the Angels. We saw bullpen action going last half inning. Tyler Skaggs sitting at 102 pitches. They like what they've seen out of their left-hander.
I think they like what they've seen from the Astros offense better.
10 consecutive outs recorded by Skaggs. Here's Mike Trout. Fastball at 97 for a called strike.
Skaggs threw 114 pitches against the Texas Rangers back on the 10th of April.
That was most of his career. 1-1 the count. Now Trout down to the count 1-2. Cole, while he was in there, struck out 8. Started the night tied for the AL lead. Ended the night with 49 and now has the major league lead. In the dirt, 2-2. Only 8 hits in the game. The 4 by the Angels came bunched up in the 5th and 6th innings, when Cole needed 52 pitches combined to get through those 2 innings. The Astros had a hit in each of the first 4 innings, but none since. 3-2 the count as Trout held up on the slider.
Pretty good pitch from Rondon. Almost got the fish to bite. What?
This is a delayed reaction.
He just got that.
Down and away. Ball 4. Oh, Trout draws a 2-out walk. Trout didn't bite at that one either.
Nope.
Here's Justin Upton. Hit the ball very hard his last time up. Doubled off the center field wall to drive in the second run of the game. Upton snapped an 0 for 21 with that RBI hit. The 2 RBI hits today by the Angels snapped some 0-fers. Cole Calhoun snapped an 0 for 20 with his base hit in the 5th, and then Upton snapped an 0 for 21. 1-0. Trout already has a steal tonight. There he goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw by McCann is not in time. Stolen base for Trout. He's now 5 for 5 on the season in stolen bases.
young man's got some speed, taking advantage of Hector Rondon and Brian McCann.
Colin McHugh begins to warm up as Rondon misses. It's 2-1. You go from Gerrit Cole to Hector Rondon, you don't lose any velocity with the fastball. Both can bring it in the upper 90s. Saw Cole hit 98, 97, 96. Slider misses. Now it's 3-2. Rondon last year averaged 96.8 with his fastball. Counts 3-2. On the ground, Altuve played perfectly. And we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Astros need the offense to come alive. It's still a 2-0 game.
After party presented by Budweiser. The after party takes place at the Budweiser Brew House in the new center field area and features food and drink specials, music trivia, prizes, and games for an hour after the game ends. It'll be pretty similar to what you're seeing on the screen. For tickets to Saturday's game, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Astros announcing Max Stassi as a pinch hitter for Brian McCann, and with that, Mike Scioscia's going to go out and get his starting pitcher. Tyler Skaggs' inning will not begin.
That's all it took?
Max Stassi
the
pitching.
threat of Maxwell Stassi to get Skaggs out of the game.
Scioscia's going to go to a guy making his major league debut from right here in Houston, Texas. We'll tell you about him when we come back. They did not know that he would make his major league debut against the Astros in a 2-0 game in the 8th inning. But here he is. He's from Houston. He went to University of Texas San Antonio. You see his numbers at AA and AAA. He wasn't even on the 40-man roster. Was selected today out of St. Pius High School, and now he makes his debut. Grew up an Astros fan.
Tell you what, if you've got a jersey on and an arm and you're in that bullpen for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, you're going to get an opportunity. But what a unique moment to make your debut in a city that you grew up in.
Said he went to the Astrodome as a kid and then into this ballpark as he grew older. And now he pitches here against the Astros in a 2-0 game, making his big league debut facing Max Stassi. This is his inning. There is nobody up in the bullpen. Fastball up and in. It's ball one.
I'd give anything to have a heart rate monitor on him right now.
99 miles an hour with the first pitch. Fastball, slider, and changeup guy. There's the slider at 88 that Stassi fouls away. Found out he was being called up. Told everybody that he knew that he was going to be in Houston, and people flocked in from both San Antonio and from his local high school. And now he drops in a slider for a strike. It's 1-2.
He's got some antics on the mound too.
Stassi pinch hitting for Brian McCann. Jake Marisnick is due up next, but Josh Reddick is in the on-deck circle as a pinch hitter. Anderson becomes the second major league player from University of Texas San Antonio. John Borman made his big league debut last year, catcher. Stassi sends one high in the air. Just got under it. Trout waits for it to come down and puts it away. That's one out in the 8th. Now Josh Reddick will pinch hit for Jake Marisnick. Quite a road trip for Josh. Added to his team high 6 home runs with a 2-home run game at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago against the White Sox.
One of the few Astros that has great numbers at home. Also, he started to light it up on the road. Happy to be back here wearing the home whites.
Checked his swing on the slider. It's 1-0. Tyler Skaggs goes 7 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball and leaves the game. Justin Anderson in his major league debut has shown 99 on a couple of fastballs, but he's 2-0 on Reddick.
Reddick is hitting 407 at home.
Knowing Josh, he'll be patient here unless this is center cut. It was center cut and he missed it. It's 2-1. Pretty firm fastball from the young right-hander.
He is amped up, and you can tell the ball jumping out of his hand. Firm to quite firm.
25-year-old delivers a ground ball towards the right side. Stopped by Kindler, and Reddick is out number 2. It's time to name that Astro, brought to you by Nissan. We gave you the clues earlier. Two-time All-Star, brother, pitched for the Astros and the Angels. Ken Forsch Ken and Bob Forsch both threw no-hitters. All-Star in 76 and again in 81.
He's also a stand-in for Harrison Ford in some of his movies.
Here's George Springer. Springer fouls the slider away. Well, Anderson had 14 strikeouts in 8 2/3 innings in the minor leagues this year. A 14th round pick out of UTSA. But he has come in and been impressive in his debut, now ahead of Springer 0-2. Sometimes managers look for soft landings for guys making their debuts, but Mike Scioscia threw the Houstonian right into the fire.
Well, he's bringing the fire right now. 98, 99 on the heater and a sweeping slider. He had a K rate in AA of almost 20 per 9 innings. Got called up to AAA and it dropped down to almost 11.
Had been used as a starter until last year, and really hadn't been used exclusively as a pitcher until his junior year of college. In the dirt, 2-2. Astros have not had a base runner since the single by Marwin Gonzalez in the 4th inning. This crowd of 29,606 looking for something to cheer about. There is a base hit into center field. Astros will bring the tying run to the plate as George Springer singles to center. And that'll bring up the reigning MVP.
That was a quick bat from George. Foot got down a little bit quicker, not as high a leg kick as we're accustomed to seeing from George. But he gets that foot down and throws a barrel at that one and fires it right back up the middle, turning on 99. 101 miles an hour.
Springer has hit the ball hard all night long. His 3rd exit velocity of 100 miles an hour or more. Well, Altuve hasn't hit a home run all year.
What are you trying to say, TK?
This would be a good time for it.
I have to agree with you on that.
Jose 1 for 3 tonight against Tyler Skaggs. His one hit was a fly ball that dropped in between Ian Kinsler and Cole Calhoun. There's a base hit into center field. Astros had the tying runs aboard. Springer going first to third. Altuve and Springer back-to-back base hits. And the Astros are in business in the 8th. There is no hotter Astro than the guy coming to the plate, Carlos Correa.
16 pitches in this inning from Mr. Anderson, and 6 of them have been fastballs. 10 of them have been sliders. Kind of makes you wonder if Altuve might be sitting on that slider when he got that base hit up the middle. Extends this inning, and George Springer with an easy decision to take an extra 90 feet on Mike Trout.
The tying runs on base, the go-ahead run at the plate. Carlos Correa hitting over 500 in his last 8 games. Chases the slider 1-0. That's one thing Carlos has not been doing during this recent stretch. Again, the Angels bullpen is quiet. This is all on the Major League debut of the 25-year-old Justin Anderson. Drops it in for a strike, 1-2.
So far showing that he likes that slider. Just takes one.
He got him. Correa goes down swinging. Carlos tipped it, caught by Maldonado for the final out of the 8th. 2 hits, 2 men left on base. We go to the 9th. It's still 2-0.
Going out and doing Gerrit Cole type things. Pretty amazing to watch him go out there and take care of business. He went 7 strong, scattered 4 hits, gave up 2 runs, had 8 punch-outs, threw 109 pitches, fighting through 7 innings pitched again for the 5th straight time for Gerrit Cole. And we've got some pretty amazing numbers on Gerrit Cole. 7+ innings pitched with 5 or fewer hits and 5+ Ks in 5 straight starts. To start the season, Gerrit Cole has done that. Last time it was done, Pedro Martinez and Bob Turley, of course, back in 1955, did it in 7 straight. If you add to that mix, having 2 runs or less, guess what you do?
No more Pedro. No more Turley.
There's only one.
And that literally is no player does more.
How about that?
He is the only pitcher in the history of the game.
That's incredible.
To go 7+, 5 straight starts to begin the season, 5 hits or less, 2 runs or less. First time ever.
Gerrit Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Houston.
Wow. Hopefully he ends up with a no decision in this game. The Astros need to rally down 2-0 as we head to the 9th. Colin McHugh is the new pitcher. And Pujols grounds one towards Bregman. Alex will take his time and he fires a strike. And Colin gets Pujols for the first out of the 9th.
We witnessed history.
It only took 5 starts.
That's it. Plenty of season left. Colin McHugh getting an appearance here. Finish off this 9th inning. Hopefully the Astros keep the Angels at bay right here and give them one more opportunity here at home.
It's never an easy transition for a guy that started his entire career, but Colin has seemed to be easing into that comfort zone in the bullpen.
You hope so, and you got to appreciate Colin McHugh with the mentality to go back there and do that.
He would be starting in a lot of rotations in baseball, as would Brad Peacock. Instead, they find themselves in the Astros bullpen with this incredible starting five.
He made an appearance in that White Sox series, won an inning, only threw 7 pitches.
0-2 pitch is fouled away by Valbuena.
What you've got to appreciate too is Colin coming out there pumping strikes out of the bullpen. We've also seen an uptick in the velocity too, consistently around that 92-mile-an-hour range. Still has that good slider he developed in that rotation last year.
Astros shift their former teammate with 3 on the right side. Gerrit Cole went 7, allowed 4 hits and a couple of runs. Hector Rondon pitched an inning, walked a batter. And that was it. Now Colin McHugh in the ninth. Keenan Middleton warming up for the Angels. As Valbuena hooks one. He didn't leave the box initially. Now he heads out, but it's into the crowd. Josh Reddick, who pinch hit, stayed in the game. He's now in right field. That moves George Springer from right to center, replacing Jake Marisnick, and Max Stassi, who also pinch hit, stays in the game behind the plate. McHugh on the mound. Got to give credit to Mike Scioscia and, of course, to the kid who pitched, but to throw a kid into a situation, 2-0 game in the 8th inning, facing, turns out he faced Springer, Altuve, and Correa, the last 3 batters of that inning, but that's showing a lot of faith in what the kid's makeup is. Swing and a miss. Valbuena goes down swinging and asks to Sherwater if that was a strike. 2 outs for McHugh in the ninth.
Yeah, that'll make for a good story for Justin Anderson. Punch out Carlos Correa to end that inning.
Here's Zach Cozart. 2 outs, nobody on. Astros went from the 4th inning, Marwin's 2-out single, until the 8th inning, Springer's 2-out single without a base runner. As we look to the 9th, they'll have Yuli Gurriel, Alex Bregman, and Marwin Gonzalez due up. Ground ball to Carlos. Correa takes his time. The Astros need at least 2 in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Colin McHugh, a strong 1-2-3 top half. TNT Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Volkswagen. Astros had so many moments to cheer in the postseason last year, and they are looking to give something for these 29,606 to cheer about tonight as we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning with the Astros down 2-0 to the Angels. Yuli Gurriel, Alex Bregman, Marwin Gonzalez due up, and they will face the closer for the Angels, Keenan Middleton.
Saw a little bit of Keenan Middleton last year, but in 11 games this year, he's thrown 13 innings. He is a perfect 5 for 5 in saves and opportunities. 2-0 last year with a 1.13 ERA against Houston last year. He throws relatively hard if you like heat. 96.2 miles an hour averaging on that fastball. He also has a changeup and a slider. He is basically a changeup slider guy. He only throws the changeup 10% of the time.
So face Yuli Gurriel. Yuli has not had success against him. 0 for 6 in his career. And there is that fastball up and away at 94. Yuli looking to extend the hitting streak, which sits at 4 games right now. Middleton misses 2-0. We mentioned the Angels have used their bullpen a lot lately. Middleton pitching in his 3rd straight game. 28 pitches Saturday, 10 pitches yesterday. Picked up a 4-out save in Saturday's game, their lone win on the homestand. There's a strike. Astros coming off scoring 27 runs over the weekend in Chicago. But tonight, nothing through 8. Upstairs, 3-1. Just need one man on to bring the tying run to the plate. Yuli walked his first time up. Up the middle, base hit. Yuli Gurriel with a 5-game hitting streak, and the Astros will have the tying run at home plate.
Pretty good piece of hitting by Yuli Gurriel, getting on top of that pitch and shooting it back up the middle. Elevated, matches for him. Supermo proves it, but he does a good job of getting the barrel even with it, shooting right through, back through the box. Getting that runner on, that's what you're trying to do late in these ball games, is just get runners on, create traffic, create opportunity.
Here's Alex Bregman. He's also looking to extend the hitting streak. He's riding a 5-game streak, 0 for 3 tonight.
Interesting pitch selection, considering that Alex Bregman on the season has not gotten a hit against a pitch 94+ miles an hour.
That has to change.
This would be a good time for it.
He almost slowed his delivery down on that pitch.
Some of these power pitchers will do that every once in a while, and you can pick up the pitch by the delivery.
2-0. Here we go. The Astros looking for a little 9th inning magic. Runner on first base and a 2-0 count on Alex Bregman. Marwin Gonzalez waits on deck. There's a strike. Outside, ball 4. Astros have the tying runs aboard. He has thrown 10 pitches in this inning. 3 of them have been strikes. You can make the argument He only deserves 2 strikes. That 3-1 pitch to Yuli might have been out of the zone had he not had a base hit on it.
Charles Nagy, the pitching coach for the Angels, out to talk to Keenan. Settle him down, relax him, talk maybe about executing the game plan against Marwin Gonzalez. Saw Marwin left-handed on that road trip, take some good fastballs, go up the middle the other way with them. Be an interesting conversation to go out there and say, don't try and be too perfect. Make your pitches, but don't make a mistake.
Right.
That's a tough conversation to have.
Marwin loves to hunt fastballs, but if he leaves a slider up a little bit, Marwin can win the game. Cam Bedrosian just starting to throw in the Angels bullpen during that mound visit. Pregame the tying run on first, Marwin the winning run at the plate. Inside 1-0. Middleton struggling with his command. Slider misses, 2-0. "12 pitches, 9 balls so far thrown by Middleton. Does he challenge Marwin right here? You can't afford to lose your go-ahead run. That's a nicely placed fastball. It's 2-1. Left-hand hitters have hit .333 this year against Keenan Middleton. Righties 091.
Feeling Marwin might have been sitting on that fastball there. Instead got the slider. It's a pretty good look at Keenan getting on the side of that slider and yanking it down. The only reason I say that about the fastball is that the head kind of came out of the swing early. Took his eyes off the pitch. But again, it only takes one. Slider that flattens out over the plate.
He got him, threw him a consecutive string of sliders there and struck out Marwin for the first out.
Down and in, swing over the top. You've seen a lot of Astro pitchers attack left-handed hitters this way with their breaking stuff. That's how they went after Marwin.
Evan Gaddis takes a strike. Starting to find the feel for the slider. It's 0-1.
Yeah, what that punch out of Marwin does really gets the confidence up of Keenan Middleton. When you've got a good slider as a right-handed pitcher, you like facing those right-handed hitters, especially in a place like Minute Maid Park, because it goes away from the right-handed hitter.
Another one, 0-2. Got Marwin on the last 2 pitches with a slider and getting ahead of Gaddis 0-2 with the same pitch.
Nine balls and 8 strikes in this inning for Keenan Middleton. I would say a majority of them have been sliders that he's gotten over for strikes.
Strikes out Gaddis, 96 with a fastball. So after 2 on, back-to-back strikeouts getting Marwin and Evan, and now there's 2 away. Max Stassi will step to the plate. Stassi pinch hit, flied out to center field. Now gets his second at bat. Drop it in that slider with regularity now. It's 0-1. Stassi has 2 home runs on the season. Fastball 95, it's 0-2. Gurriel started the inning with a single. Bregman followed it up with a walk. Middleton came back to strike out Marwin Gonzalez after getting down 2-0, and then he struck out Evan Gattis. Now he's 0-2 on Stassi. Bounces in there. Runner's going to try and advance, and Yuli is safe. Third base umpire Corey Blazer calls him safe. Luis Valbuena immediately pointed to his dugout, feeling like he had the game won on the tag out of third base.
Oh boy. Remember that Cardinal rule?
They're going to put the headsets on.
Don't make the first or third out at third base. Ball was there in plenty of time. He's out. All right.
Yuli got a little bit of a late start with that pitch in the dirt. And his hand runs right into the glove of Luis Valbuena. If he would have gone into the bag with his right hand, he would have been safe. Swim move could have paid off there, but I'm afraid we're going to have an overturn and the ball game over.
Interesting way to end a ball game too. It's a disappointing way to end it because you had at least one more pitch, at least one more strike to give Stassi an opportunity.
Angels are starting to walk off the field after they watch that replay on the big board, and the fans are starting to leave their seats because it's pretty apparent to everybody that watched the review here that Yuli's going to be called out and the game will be over. He is, and that'll do it. The Angels, with their first shutout of the year, the Astros shut out for the first time. It's a 2-0 final as the Angels get 7 innings out of Tyler Skaggs, 1 out of the rookie Justin Anderson in his major league debut, and Keenan Middleton a little shaky in the ninth, but he closes it out for his 6th save of the year. We will have more from Minute Maid Park, including the post-game show right after this.